today's class we are going to discuss about protein energy malnutrition or PEM. So we know that protein energy malnutrition require for our body growth and maintenance of tissues, and protein is an integral part. So protein energy malnutrition is of two types. Sometimes even a kid is lacking in complete food and also that may lead to an extreme poverty condition. They may lead to deficiency of all the nutrients along with protein also, and in some cases the kids are eating many carbohydrate content only, and their diet is deficient in protein, so that may also lead to this protein energy malnutrition. So mainly this condition could be mild, moderate, and in severe degree. So mainly it is of three kinds. One is Kwashiorkor, marasmus, and marasmic Kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor means here only the diet is deficient in protein and other nutrients are met. While marasmus is deficiency in calorie intake. They are because of poverty and all, they are not getting enough food to feed, and third is like it can occur both, like marasmic kwashiorkor, both where both the protein deficiency as well as the calorie requirement is not met. So these are the signs and symptoms, and this is more evident in kids. So this is the one picture showing how a kwashiorkor baby will affect, and this is the picture where marasmus, where even all the food also is not getting in proper quantity. So we will just have a comparison between Kwashiorkor and marasmus. So first we see the diet. Kwashiorkor diet is deficient in protein, while marasmus diet is deficient in protein as well as other forms of nutrients. Second difference is that mostly it occurs in children from 6 months to age of 3 years, while marasmus is more prevalent when at the age 1 to 3 years. And again, Kwashiorkor, as you could see in this previous diagram, they have a like protruded belly and all. So this subcutaneous fat is preserved. While in marasmus, you can see that there is no protrusion, and like fat is also not there in their body. Next is like that. Sometimes this subcutaneous fat preservation, they will have a swollen belly like that. If edema is present, in that marasmus, edema is absent. And again, here ribs we can't see, like in Kwashiorkor it's not very prominent, while in marasmus you can see ribs are very prominent, and especially here the kids are very lethargic, and while in marasmus they are very hungry. That's why will be very alert and irritable. And muscle wasting is as absent or very mild, but in marasmus there is a severe muscle wasting. Then appetite also, since they are already filled their body with carbohydrate and other form of nutrients, they will have a poor appetite. While in marasmus, the kids will be so hungry because they have not eaten food for many days. So they will show this voracious feeder tendency. Like when they get food, they will just feed on. And then finally, Kwashiorkor could be it's mild actually, and by providing protein supplement, we can be overcome. And in marasmus, actually, the main thing is that to remove poverty and let them have a good food. Then, after so many days of effort, we can bring that child back to normal life. So epidemiology also it's seen. It's a graph showing where the Kwashiorkor marasmus distribution is high, and you can see that in the intakes it shows that red one regions are the one where more marasmus patients are reported, and it's most prevalent in African continent as evident from this world map. So, and like Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 people, at least just feed one, and let help them to remove this poverty condition and provide them a good diet. Thank you so much.